There are some players out there that hate football. They just don't like it. They play it. It's their job. I felt really sorry for those guys. I knew a few of them over the years. And there was one particular one, I remember late in my career at Kilmarnock, and this you just say, I wish they'd just pay me the money and I didn't have to play. Just thought,
hate's a bit of a strong word, is it?
No, absolutely hated it. No, absolutely. Now, this one guy in particular who jumped out. I mean, he wasn't a bad player. He could have gone quite far in the game. But he just didn't have time for the game. He didn't like training. He hated training. Thought it was too much of a hassle. In the games, it's probably hiding the fact that he didn't like the stress, because he could play, and the stress was more hassle than it's worth. So he then turned that on the game itself and just didn't like, but had to do it because it made the money. So, yeah, the vast majority are okay with it. I really like it. I love it. But there are some in there that just are doing it because they have to do it.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, there's the Benoit Sokoto example where he just doesn't like watching football, which is a slightly different thing. He quite likes playing it, but he doesn't he literally turn up and doesn't quite know. Peter Crouch was on a while back, and he was saying there would be mornings on a Saturday where he would turn up at White Hart Lane.
Who are we playing today, boss?
And wouldn't quite know who we were playing. And Crouch would be saying,
but I know like, that.
He was, we were in the team meeting yesterday, and you hadn't paid attention, but he liked playing it. Like, it's hard to imagine being that good at something.
He was vaguely indifferent.
And not enjoying playing it. But I guess if you associate it with stress and pressure, then I can see how that turns around very quickly.
Yeah, they should have someone to talk to about that, but they don't want to listen. They just want to pick up a paycheck. Some people. By the way, that's taking nothing away from Crouchy. I have to admit, certainly in my second year, even as far as third year at Chelsea, I would take off my headphones, turn around to the guy sitting next to me and say, right, who is it today? Right. And he would say, Manchester United, Pat? And I went, okay, good. But that wasn't a disinterest. That was just a feeling of, I don't care who I play against, I'm going to be better than them. And it was that. So it was a totally different mindset. Don't care who you are, I have to be better than you, and I'm going to believe I'm better than you. So it wasn't an arrogance, it was a confidence, and a definite showing no fear to anyone, even yourself.
There was an interesting anniversary today, or birthday rather, that of Winston Bogart. Because
I know.
What was his like? I'm just looking at his stats here for the last few 4 years at Chelsea, 9 appearances.
And the money he was picking up every week for that, and he had absolutely no interest of moving anywhere else at all. He was very happy picking up the money, and that was one of possibly the most famous one where I don't actually think he particularly hid the fact that
He didn't, and you'd nearly admire him for that, Pat, in the sense he was like, I'm getting a lot of money here, who's going to blame me? I'm not playing, but who cares ultimately?
Well, and classically, if he sits in his backside there and does the square root of nothing, or the least he can possibly do, he knows that by the end of that, he's set up for life. Yeah. And to be fair, there's people out there, there's lots of people out there, so hand up for that one. Yeah. I mean, obviously, morally, it's just completely bankrupt, but, you understand that he's taking care of his family, taking care of himself. He's not in the pantheon of greats at Chelsea. He's not remembered in that way, I'll be honest with you.
No. Would you have been a better player if you knew in advance that it was Manchester United you were playing and had watched your opposing full-back and done your homework? Or were you better for turning up?
I kind of did homework anyway, just generally about everyone I played against and considered, and sometimes wrote down and weaknesses or strengths you saw in other players. But I definitely have had that attitude myself was, hey, it's not about you, it's about me. You've got to be better than me. And it's the reason for it. I've often thought about why it was, because I'm not an arrogant person. But I was brought up through the Celtic system. And the Celtic system was absolutely, hey, they're all losers. We're the winners. Yeah. We don't care about anyone else. We're the winners. We will win. And it's almost, you can see parallels in Celtic fans won't thank me for it, but the English kind of public school system of we are superior, and if you believe it enough, and most of the time they were pretty superior, these Celtic players, because we had the pick of the very, very best. But it'd come all the way down from the club, who were the best team in Europe. They were usually the best team in Scotland. Well, they were the 9 years in a row that, I was learning my trade up there. And you got that feeling of if you played 60 games with the boys club or the S forms in a season, if you lost one, that was the topic. what the hell are you thinking about? You didn't win that one if you didn't get a queen's sleep of all the trophies. And when that was, you should, if you ever get a chance to talk to, say, Davy Moyes or Roy Aitken or Charlie Nick or any of us that came through it, Paul McStay, we all feel exactly the same way. And we don't understand why everybody doesn't feel the same way, because we were almost Jesuitical. I'm sure you understand that. You completely and utterly are indoctrinated with this concept. So there's no reason why I should stop doing that when I become a professional. Why should you?